up in boom, boom, bosh, boom, boom. Tell me I'm the only one that you know. Life could be a dream, sweetheart. Oh, oh, oh,
oh. Good morning, everyone. So the week begins as it tends to do on a Monday and all of that stuff. It's a bit windy today, so I hope the audio comes through okay. But I've just come from a super secret meeting in Goole that I'm not going to tell anybody about. And I thought I would take advantage of being in Goole so early, it's about 9:30 right now, by taking my laptop with me and going to the library and finishing off the edit for last week in Goole, so I'm somewhere where I'm not at my desk, and that'll be really productive. However, I've managed to leave my hard drive at home, my external hard drive where I keep all of the footage, because as we know, I lost an episode or half an episode the other week, so I now back everything up to the external drive. Have I brought it with me? No, I have not. Am I pretty annoyed about that? Yes, I am. Am I now hanging around in Goole with my laptop on me for no reason? Yes. So, great start to the week, and I guess this sets the bar for everything else that's going on, so should be fun. Hello, hello MTV Cribs. This is my bedroom. So anyway, back from Goole, and I'm currently watching this show I found on Netflix called iZombie, and the premise is kind of stupid. It's like The Walking Dead if it was more a sitcom-y, but it's like this girl becomes a zombie and it makes her a really good detective because she has visions of the people's brains she eats. Like she sees thank you, that'll be audio really great. She sees like visions, like memories of the people that she's eaten. Anyway, that's not important. What I'm doing right now is cleaning up that old computer that's featured in 1 or 2 episodes over the past couple of weeks. And this is a computer that I got from the Mega Centre. I was going through an area of the Mega Centre called the Mega Store, which is where we keep things. It's where we store things like furniture and old equipment and stuff. And I found this computer, and I recognised it immediately as the lighting computer for the auditorium. And I saw it sat there on its own, looking all sad and desolate. And I said to Ronan, I said to him, "Hey, do you mind if I liberate that old computer in the Mega Store?" And he said yes. And so here I am right now, cleaning it up. Oh my goodness me, that took a while. Alright, well, the computer is done. I have cleaned it up and put it all back together, and it's now working, to my knowledge. I think I might have lost the grill that was over here that protected the dust from getting in the fan, but oh well. I also don't know how well you can see it, but there are some ribbon cables that have come loose than I believe they were when I actually started, but I can't see a way of doing any effective cable management. The reason they're ribbons is because it's an IDE hard drive and also an IDE floppy connection and CD drive, so that just goes to show the age of this machine. But I'm now going to get it powered up and see if it explodes. So if the video ends here, you know why. Alright. I'm about to turn the computer on. If I've done this incorrectly, I may explode or electrocute myself, or the house will be destroyed. If this episode ends here, we know that I've done wrong. If the computer boots up correctly, hopefully that'll be exciting. And boom. Blue LED on the side, that's a good sign. Do we have a signal from the computer? Yes, we do. Alright, it's going to run a memory test. And then it's going to try and boot to the hard drive, which is empty, so that's not going to do anything. Let's skip this, let's see what happens. Is it going to do the thing? It's going to load all my... Oh. Hey, this looks good. Yeah, there we go, that's the error I was expecting. There's no operating system on there right now. I'm going to try and load an Ubuntu stick, but in the meantime, I didn't put the computer back together wrong, which is always good. Uh-oh, looks like I might have done goofed. I think I might have seen a hardware error there, but it looks like we're okay now because it's booting to the splash screen, so hopefully it's not broken. Yep, that's not a good sign. That is a bad sign. This is a live USB of Ubuntu, and it's giving me a squash FS, I don't know, some kind of error about not being able to read stuff. I think it's the process or the memory, I don't know. So, for anyone who's watching this video who might be wondering why the computer won't boot, I've done a little bit of digging and I think I've found out why. I might also animate a little thing to demonstrate what it is I'm about to say. I also might not, given my sort of motivation levels right now. But anyway, for anyone who is into computers, you may already have like paused the screen and had a look at what was going on. But basically, I think there's something wrong with the memory on the computer that I fixed up. When you load an operating system such as Linux, it actually doesn't run straight from the USB. It actually loads into the RAM or the memory of the machine, and it runs from there. That means you can still use the flash drive or the USB that you've used to store files, and it won't sort of destroy what's going on with the computer. And so the fact that the memory is failing indicates that that's why Ubuntu can't load properly. I managed to load a terminal and I was able to navigate through the computer. I was able to manually mount the hard drive and examine its contents. Not that there was much there, but in terms of like actually fixing this machine, I'm really not sure I'm going to be able to do it. I had a feeling that if I cleaned it up and put it all back together again, it might work okay, but it doesn't look like that's the case, and I'm not prepared to spend money on a computer this old. It's a pretty old computer. It takes DDR RAM. And we're now on DDR4, I believe. We might even be on DDR5, I don't know. But as it happens, I don't know. Maybe I could load it up with a live version of Ubuntu server, like on a memory stick, and use it as some sort of server, but I honestly don't know. I think for now I'm just going to take it back to the storage unit and maybe revisit it in a couple of years. But yeah, don't know if much else is happening today, so if not, let's just go straight to tomorrow. Bye. Hey everyone, Tuesday today, Tuesday the 24th, 5th, 6th of June. I have no idea what the date is, I don't really need to know, and it is crazy hot today. Like, it is such a hot day. It's like 27 degrees. I wear shorts every single day in summer because I can't be bothered to do the whole thing of like deciding, do I wear jeans or shorts or jean shorts? I just wear shorts all the time. But it's so hot today that I thought this might give me an excuse to wear this. I don't know how that looks. I've moved the viewer so I don't end up keep looking at that instead of the thing. But yeah, what do you think? I bought this hat in Brighton like last summer, and I haven't worn it until now. But yeah, what do we think? Think I'd get away with it? Maybe that'll make a good thumbnail. Hang on. Anyway, not really though. I don't think so. Not in Yorkshire anyway. Today is a really fun day because not only am I trying to fix my computer for the 15th time, I'm also going out with some friends that I haven't seen in at least 5 years. If anyone watched episode 3 of last week where I walked around Rawcliffe, you might have noticed that there's a section where I was like, oh, I'll go find my friend who used to live here and maybe we'll go out together, but he wasn't in, he didn't appear in the video, sad times. However, since then, I've been contacted by a guy I used to go to school with, saying, hey, I haven't spoken to you in a while, like, sad we lost touch, let's hang out. His name is Ben, and I was like, sure, let's go, I'm free tomorrow night, which is today. And then he said, hey, why don't we invite somebody else, another Ben called Ben Back, and he's the guy I tried to get out in the last one who wasn't in, but apparently he's in town now, and we're going to go to the pub and have a meal. And I thought that would be fun to film because Lord knows nothing else is happening today. So come with us as we embark to the Air and Calder pub and we reminisce about the good old days. How fun. Hoolali lule, what am I talking about? No idea how good this shot's going to be, but alright Ben.
Now
then, this is Ben Back. The mug that I tried to get out the other day that wasn't in. And over there we have the lovely Grace and the not so lovely Ben.
What do you mean not so lovely?
What? So, Ben, how long would you say you and I have known each other? If we count the last 4 years as knowing each other.
Yeah, that would be 11, 12 years?
12 years! 12 whole years. Anyway, had a good night?
Yeah, great night.
And, right, the audio's gone, so that's probably the end of that. Thanks for watching. Alright, well, that was hanging out with Ben and his girlfriend. I don't know how well any of the footage I took just then came out because it was very dark in the van, but it was a good time, you know. Earlier this year I managed to meet up with a guy I went to school with called Rob Fruin, and it's been really fun hanging out with him in Sheffield. But it's also quite nice that I've managed to get in touch with Ben and Ben back here in Rawcliffe, because, you know, Ben back at the very least. I don't know, I can't remember if Ben Cooper went to school with me in primary school or whether it was Ben back I knew first, but I don't know, they're a good couple of guys, you know, and it was really fun remembering everything that happened in school. I apologise that there's no more footage for today, but hopefully more exciting things will happen later in the week. I've also had a bit to drink, can you tell? Hey everyone, it's Wednesday right now and I'm out in Rawcliffe again, this time with somebody behind the camera this time. Hey Ben, say hello.
Hi.
Hi, this is Ben. And we're going to kind of do part 2 to what we did a couple of weeks ago, where we go around Rawcliffe and take a look at everything there is to see around here and hopefully swap stories and all that kind of thing. So let's go. All right, well this is the first of many locations we'll visit on this journey, no doubt. This is the river, the riverside. It's a couple of meters from where I live. I live in that direction. And the reason I brought us here is because one day, me and my good cameraman friend here, Ben, decided we would have a go at building a raft.
Don't forget the other idiot.
Was it Ben Cooper that was here as well?
It was.
Yeah, there you go, name drop. I don't remember whose idea it was to build a raft. I think it was probably yours.
Sounds like my sort of idea.
But we decided to have a wander down onto the river bank, the river's edge, which is all, you know, hidden by this overgrown stuff. And as soon as we got down there, I don't know if you realised it straight away, but I soon realised I wasn't going to be able to climb back up because it just sort of become clay, like along the riverbank.
Completely slippery.
We decided the best course of action from there was to just wander along to about here. I think you managed to climb up way before I did. You were ahead of me. And we had to try and climb up this, I don't know what this is, like a drainage thing here, and try and get back up. Except Ben has clearly had better shoes on than me. I was wearing Crocs at the time, don't ask. And all I remember is trying to like stand on a rock and immediately slipping and falling into the river. And it's not even that strong a current, it's not even that cold, but I remember immediately panicking as soon as I hit the water and just going, "Help me! I can't get out of the river!" Of course I did make it out. I lived to tell the tale because here I am now. But yeah, that's that story. Anything to add, Ben?
Not much, really.
Okay, so this little stretch of road, I don't even know if there's anything particularly exciting about it, but me and Ben just remembered it's of merit for this because I don't know how hardcore a fan of Doctor Who you were, Ben, but I was a seriously hardcore fan. And one day I decided, in my pursuit of making content, as I've talked about before, I decided to take some of my friends, namely Ben and a guy called Sam, to this spot. We would put Ben in my suit, which didn't fit him because he doesn't look like me, and we would pretend he was Doctor Who. We would pretend he was the Doctor. And I wrote a script that we did film where Ben would enter from the gate behind us there, and he would walk up here, and there would be a guy played by my friend Sam coming the other way, and they would bump shoulders. Sam was playing a chav character, and so the chav, instead of walking along his merry way, challenged the Doctor. At which point, you know, the Doctor said, "Oh, you know, beg your pardon," sort of thing. And then I remember Sam had to stab the Doctor. It was just a random stabbing, and he fell down, and he regenerated into me. And I remember I got some footage of Ben lying on the floor, and then some footage of myself lying on the floor. And then I was like, wait, no, let's also get some photographs of that, and I'll use the photos instead because that way we'd have to stay still for as long. Except I left the date in the bottom right corner. I've no idea if we still have that footage, but I'm gonna go looking for it and see if we have it. But yeah, I'm not lying when I said I did try and make content when I was a kid. All right, so if anyone actually watched as far as episode 3 when I came here before, you'll recognize this is the forest that I mentioned. We're trying to think of some good stories to tell, and to be honest, there's just too many to name. But this is the staple place to come when you were hanging out in Rawcliffe, isn't it? Yep. If you go up further this direction, there's a real long road that leads to Goole, and I remember walking there a couple of times you and I and George and Ben. And there was that one time that you went in your hiking gear, wasn't there?
There was that one.
There was that one time. I don't remember the reason though. We decided to walk as far as the McDonald's, which is maybe 3 miles?
Something like that.
I don't know, 5 miles-ish. And Ben decided it would be a great idea. You know, I'm gonna wear my hiking gear, and you know, like, what even was it? What even were you wearing?
So there was hiking trousers, there was rucksack, proper coat, proper underlayers, thermals. I mean, there was no real reason. It was just a bit of banter.
Banter, okay, if that's what you call it. I think my favourite thing about you going to McDonald's dressed in that equipment was when we started making the Bear Grylls jokes. So, do you remember what you said? Because Ben was telling this yesterday, wasn't he? When you got to the McDonald's, the guy who was serving us, we knew him. And I just remember you walked straight up to him and you just went, "I'm Bear Grylls and I want a McFlurry." But that's just the kind of thing we got up to around here, isn't it? Like, Rawcliffe is small, if you haven't got that already. There is not much to do around here. We just kind of made our own fun, you know? All right, well, I think our journey might be concluding slightly after 1 or 2 more stops. But this is the skate park, again, that I visited in episode 3, I believe. We're trying to think of more good stories, and Ben pointed out that most of them involve the zip line over there. It's intended for probably up to 12-year-olds, I'd say, maybe younger than that. And we thought it'd be a great idea for me to jump on that when I was like, what, 17, 18?
Something like that.
Given that I weighed back then pretty much what I weigh now. And I remember getting pushed by both Ben and our good friend George as hard as you could from one end to the other.
George can push quite hard.
Yes, he can. And no one thought to tell me that it would be a good idea to hold on when I reached the end. And so as a result, I went flying down, and as soon as the plunger engaged, I came right off, and my hand swelled up to about 4 times its natural size. So that was, you know, the talk of the town for about half an hour.
Half an hour, about 2 weeks with all that goes on round here.
Most likely, yeah. So we're walking back now via what's called the Riddings, and this area around here is just a farm of some kind or another. And I remember being really scared when I first learned about this like little path, because somebody, and I can't remember who it was, but somebody told me that whoever owns this farm had a gun and would shoot you if you strayed 1 step onto the farm, like onto the field.
I remember that.
I remember so vividly, genuinely believing that if I even faltered a little bit, I would honestly get shot.
Yeah, my money's on Cooper.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, so I think that is probably the end of part 2 of the tour. That is my house behind me, by the way. I'm not sure it ever showed up in episode 3. But yeah, that has been a bit more of Rawcliffe, a bit more of the escapades and adventures and misdemeanors we got up to.
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans, of course, sorry, shenanigans, if it pleases the court. Yeah, this is the green, Rawcliffe Green. I'm not sure what counts as the green, this part or the other green over there, but this is one of the many greens.
They're definitely green coloured.
Indeed. If it's green coloured, that means it's the green. And the Gospel Hall is over there somewhere. And I don't think there's much more to say really, other than that has been Wednesday. Nothing else has happened today. Hope this has been fun, and see you tomorrow. Hey everyone, it is
Friday.
I feel like I'm starting every single one of these days with, hey everyone, this is what day it is, even though you've just seen what day it is. And today is another really, really hot day. It's like, I don't know what degrees it is, like 20 million. And I am so freaking bored. Like, on Wednesday or Thursday when I went around Rawcliffe with Ben and we talked about like things we used to get up to, I realised then, you know, something that I clearly realised when I left uni, that there is nothing to do around here. Nothing! You know, I went into Goole earlier today and did 1 or 2 jobs, but there's nothing to do there either. Like, Sheffield has parks and people, whereas here, I don't know anyone here. I know Ben, and you know, they're like football, which is great, but Where are my other people? I'm so bored. I've been applying for jobs and I've been cleaning my room and doing some cooking. And I have time lapses of some of those things, but like there's nothing interesting happening. Like I really need something to happen so I can vlog about it, or I need to think of something to vlog. But I don't know. At the moment, it just seems like I'm just watching my show, applying for jobs, and doing housework, and that's not entertaining. So I apologise. You know, for that. I don't know.
I'd like to.
Okay, here we are in Goole railway station once again. We seem to be finding ourselves here quite a lot at the moment, but I am on my way to Halifax today. My good friend Shannon is currently residing out in Halifax, or she's, I don't know, staying there, or she's commuted there, or whatever. And we have been trying to meet up with each other for a very long time now, and it just turns out that Halifax is the place she is right now, and I'm available, and I have the finances to get there. She's been staying in quite a number of places over the past few months. Great Yarmouth, Manchester, Bradford, Halifax. I feel like there's somewhere else I'm forgetting. But anyway, train's about to arrive and I'm going to jump on it. So, see you soon. Shannon? Cool, so this is leg one of the journey. A bit like in episode 1 where I travelled back from Wadebridge. No, episode 2 when I travelled from Wadebridge to back home. It's a bit of a stopping service in the sense that there's no direct trains anywhere to anywhere. So I'm doing Goole to Doncaster, Doncaster to Leeds, Leeds to Halifax. So it's not as many as Wadebridge, and it's obviously not coaches, it's a train, but it's still a little bit of a kerfuffle to get there. But it should be fine. I've done journeys from Doncaster a lot of times, and there's not too many changes, so I'm pretty confident everything will go smoothly. I'm really looking forward to going to Halifax actually, like not only seeing Shannon again for the first time in maybe a year or so, but also getting to see a new city which I've never been to before, so it should be a really fun day. Alright, it's Shannon. Say hello, Shannon.
Hi.
Alright, okay. Where are we?
We're at the Peace Hall in Halifax and there's some sort of shindig going on. I'm not
Shindig.
quite sure.
Alright. Cool, let's explore, I guess.
In and around all the sides, there's like little cute little, you know, like independent shops and stuff.
Sure.
And then like down there, there's like some gym bars. And,
Okay.
but like, as you can tell, it's all really new. And then when this isn't here, there's like fountains and stuff.
Cool. Hey, what'd you do to your phone, by the way?
I threw it.
I'm sorry?
I threw it.
You threw it?
Yes.
Why would you do that, Shannon?
Because my ex-boyfriend annoyed me, and if I threw it at his head, I'd have probably knocked him out. So I threw it at the floor instead. Right, is this working?
Yes.
How does it know to just connect without the password?
Because it's got it saved on there.
How does it know?
Have you connected to it before?
I don't think so.
God in heaven. I don't know how she survives without me, to be honest.
Did you see that?
I did, yeah, and so did the rest of the world.
With my big nail.
Yeah. I feel like every time you say something, I'm just doing one of those looks to the camera like I'm on a sitcom. No. Every time you do it, I'm just kind of like.
Break the fourth wall.
Yeah. Where are we going, Shannon?
We're going to Bradford City Centre for Gay Pride.
Gay Pride.
And we're going to go to the Media Museum.
The Media Museum? How are we going to do both those things?
Because they're both in town.
You've read it's 4 o'clock and I've got to be on the train at 7, right?
You do realise Pride's on until like probably late hours of the night.
So which should we do first?
Media Museum.
Sweet!
So weird.
Alright, some sort of transition. Oh, my head already hurts. I feel like I'm going to hit something if I don't do this. I feel unwell.
This is the best part, because you can just like high five of you.
You're probably wondering why I summoned you all here.
Starting with Garrett here today.
Yeah. You're probably wondering why I've called you all to this specific point. The revolution begins now, people! Oh, this is the coolest place ever.
And you've only been on one floor.
I know, right?
And you've only seen like 3 things.
The one of the sun is still my favourite because it's real images. Like, it's not even doing anything, and yet I'm just like, oh my god, because it's the actual real life sun.
The sun is doing.
Ah.
That is what.
But wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. Like, why is it bright on all the sides? Because, like, what if it's nighttime? There we go. That took so long.
I'm being serious about that. My brain melted. I was like,
So it's a dubstep machine.
yeah. 74 is just good.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this down here, and that's going to ruin the audio. Because the audio's being recorded on there.
74 is the correct one.
Dubstep machine.
Did you press record?
Yeah, I did.
But it's 74.
That is freaking cool. I love the fact that this place is free as well.
I need to get a job.
You guys just wander in, just like, hey!
I need to get a job even being told. I just need to take people around.
Alright, what was that, Shannon?
My water's warm.
That was the Science Media Museum. Science and Media Museum. We're now going to go buy something to drink and we're going to chill with Shannon's mates.
Because it's gay pride!
Because it's Gay Pride! And celebrate how we are prideful about being gay.
Yep.
Alright, if that's not in focus, I do apologise. It's Sunday. I am eating my lunch and currently waiting for Mum and Dad to get back so they can give me a lift of Thorn and I can go to church because I'm on cameras this afternoon. And I don't really have anything to record today. I'm going to take the GoPro with me just in case something fun happens at church. Might introduce you guys to the camera team depending on who's on. But I'm kind of hungover, a little bit tired. I didn't have too much to drink last night, but I had enough to make me feel a little bit like death today. I've also got to film something for this episode that's a little bit out of sync with, like, because normally I do try and film Monday on Monday, Tuesday on Tuesday, Wednesday on Wednesday. But sometimes things happen, things get in the way, you know, busy. So I'm going to shoot a little bit for one of the other days today, later. I might have time when I get back, it might have to be tomorrow morning, but I'm not doing anything tomorrow, so I've got time. Anyway, hopefully this episode's been fun, and I'll do a transition to whatever happens for the rest of the day, if anything. Oh.